Here's the situation. You have brought the Sassanids. How do you win? This is another match from round 1 of the Fear the Forest tournament. As a reminder, the winner of this tournament will get the Celtic Culture Pack, as they would have proven themselves as masters of fighting in the forest. In this match, Poccopacs from the FG clan is fighting Reedo in Gortina, fought north-south. Switching this map's direction changes a lot of its features. Suddenly, you have a lot of forest cover in the center, and forests on the flanks are sparse. What's more, there are interesting little patches of trees near each army's deployment zone where you can park your guerrilla units, keep them on standby for some sneaky rear charges. With the Windals, Poccopacs has chosen a strong, safe tournament build. 6 Noble Alani cavalry with 3 to 4 chevrons form his cavalry corps. These are arguably the most cost-effective cavalry in Patch 2 Attila due to their heavy spear and excellent overall stats. Behind each cavalry flank, he has 1 noble Germanic swordsman in support, 3 Germanic archers backed by 2 Germanic pikes, 2 Vandal berserkers, and a Vandal warlord brace general form his main line, and he has kept 2 Germanic mounted brigands at the rear of his opponent's army. Very, very sneaky. Speaking of sneaky, Reedo has kept 2 out of his 3 Sogdian camel raiders in a little patch of forest right in front of Poccopacs' main line. He also has 1 Lachmid scout in the center, and his final Sogdian camel raider to the left. An unorthodox main line complements this unorthodox stealth component. 4 Armenian slingers form his skirmisher contingent, with 2 Armenian spears and 4 Dalamite warriors. The Armenian spears are a questionable choice. They are expensive, but they do not have the elite spear that the Immortals have. Finally, he has 2 Pushtikban cataphracts and a Persian noble's brace general. With all this being said, let's get into the action. Now I'm going to focus on these Sogdian camel raiders. They are kept just in front of Poccopacs' main line. These raiders could potentially just charge straight in, and I think that's what they're going to do. 2 Sogdian camel raiders onto the Germanic archers, getting a great sneaky charge in onto these Germanic archers, and then pulling back. Very smartly done, very ballsy move from Reedo right from the start of the game, but they're getting caught. These Sogdian camel raiders do have ignore terrain, and he's popped rapid advance to increase their speed by 50%. But camels themselves have a lower speed than cavalry, than horses. But at the end of the day, he's managed to pull them out pretty well. Still, it is kind of questionable if this choice was a smart one from Reedo. Definitely appreciate the ballsiness shown by him there. Meanwhile, Poccopacs is also starting to move his Germanic mounted brigands out of the forest. We can see the Sogdian camel raiders have taken a ton of casualties here without managing to get a lot of kills. Managed to only kill off 1 Germanic archer, down to 57 units. And now these Persian camel, he's got 1 more Sogdian camel raider here that could potentially just charge straight in, but there's no support for them. He's got an Armenian slinger up in front, and the Germanic mounted brigands here for Poccopacs are very close, and they're actually within firing distance of these Sogdian camel raiders, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to start firing onto these guys, and I don't know why Reedo's just letting them fire into these Sogdians. They don't have any. They have shields, but their shields are not turned to them. Even if they did have their shields turned to them, I think, just judging by the looks of it, this tiny ash shield is not going to do much. So, Sogdian camel raiders taking a lot of casualties here, unnecessary casualties, careless play from Reedo. And here, speaking of careless play, it looks like his Sogdian camels have gotten charged by Noble Alani cavalry. Not going to be good for the Sogdian camels at all. They are not going to do well against Noble Alani in general, and especially once they got charged straight up without even countercharging onto them, it's lights out for those Sogdians. Although they will take a lot of time before they get their lights out because of their excellent health. Here, Pushtikban, he needs to get a crazy good charge onto these Noble Alani cavalry if he wants to pull this game back. You can see the Sogdians taking a ton of casualties before he realized what's up, and it's a bit too late for those Sogdians, I think. Everything needs to go right for Sassanids to win a game, even in patch 2. And, especially with the very risky, army that Reedo's brought, it's going to take everything from him to pull this game back. Here, Pushtikban got caught by a Noble Alani, not good for Reedo at all. But here, another Pushtikban, is it going to get charged in? He's going to countercharge with his Noble Alani. And yeah, this is going to go well. This is going to go well for Reedo. When Pushtikban get a good charge in, they will get a lot of kills. Here you can see the Noble Alani taking a ton of casualties from the start, and here the Noble Alani have charged into these Persian nobles, and the Sogdians just got routed because they took too many casualties from the javelins. And here Persian nobles just forced to charge in and help support this battle. Noble Alani going to destroy these units. They're not going to do very well at all. And here Reedo just being very defensive for no reason. These Dalemite warriors could just punch a hole through these Germanic pikes. Although again, because of their poor defensive stats, they're going to take too much time while doing that. Armenian spears coming in to support, but the noble Germanic swordsmen will probably do just as good a job. Pushtikban cataphracts completely destroying these Noble Alani cavalry so far without taking much casualties at all. But these Noble Alani cavalry will destroy these Pushtikban simply because they didn't get a good charge in, or any sort of charge for that matter. Sogdian camel raiders here wasted. Armenian spears just got charged by Germanic mounted brigands, but the Germanic mounted brigands will not do well here. Especially once they pull out, the Armenian spears will get a lot of kills. Here, though, Germanic mounted brigands just charged into Armenian slingers, and not good enough. I mean, they got a lot of kills off of the impact damage. Here, though, what is up with these Vandal berserkers? Just because he used rapid advance, they looked almost arcadey there. But this blob is just exactly what these Vandal berserkers would relish. Just so many targets for them to just charge in and kill. Look at the number of kills they're getting. It's insane. At this point, Poccopacs has basically won this game. These blobs right here, those blobs are not good for Sassanids. They need to be able to find situations where they can charge in and then pull out, which, I mean, truth be told, is very, very hard to pull off. The Armenian slingers so far not doing too much. Very wisely, Reedo has conserved their ammo. I think he's turned off fire at will. If Reedo's watching this, let me know if you turned off fire at will. And he's just focusing fire on the Vandal Warlord. Very smart move there. But at this point, I mean, it's just there's no pulling back for Reedo. Getting charged at by Germanic pikes here. Noble Alani cavalry too strong for Reedo, and on top of that, he did make a few mistakes in this game that really cost him a lot of it. Cost him the victory here. Persian nobles there, general dying. The Dalemite warriors are in shield wall and they're slowly advancing, but there's just no chance that he's going to be able to pull this back. Let's try and get in on the action here. Noble Alani cavalry charging into the Dalemite. It doesn't actually look like they got shield wall turned on, and as a result, you can see how many. It's a massacre there. Vandal berserkers, single experience chevron, got a lot of kills on very shitty infantry, to be honest. Vandal berserkers here as well, getting 88 kills. These blobs of Armenian spears and Dalemite warriors are just perfect bait for them. The Pushtikban cataphracts doing an excellent job against Noble Alani cavalry, but once after the initial charge, you need to be able to bring cheap enough infantry like the Persian brigade or the Pike Khan band or something like that to just charge in and help support that battle so that you can pull your cataphracts out of there, because that's exactly what you need to do. Otherwise, they'll be stuck in battles like this, and that's where their poor melee attack will come into play. Sure, they won against that Noble Alani cavalry. Of course they did. They're very good units. But they just took so much time in doing so that the entire battle just finished off without them really, affecting the battle at all. Close victory to Poccopacs. Well played to him. And he moves on to round 2. Let's take a look at the stats. Germanic Pikes did decently enough, held up the entire Dalemite warrior line, although that's more of a mistake from Reedo than, anything done by Poccopacs. Very passively used, and that's exactly how you should use them. Noble Germanic swordsmen did decently. The Vandal berserkers, hats off to Poccopacs for bringing them, because they're risky units to bring, and then doing really well with them because he just used them at the right time, popped rapid advance to increase their charge speed and help them just catch all of those units when they were in that juicy blob. And as you can see, they'd got a ton of kills on those units. Noble Alani cavalry did the most amount of damage. He banked on these Noble Alani cavalry to win him the game. Anyways, that's a lot of money spent on them. Germanic mounted brigands themselves did pretty decently. As for Reedo, the Sogdian camel raiders didn't do much at all. Pushtikban cataphracts, pretty big disappointment. Needed to have gotten better charges with them. Armenian slingers, again a disappointment. Maybe bring only 2 of these units, maximum 3. 4 is overkill. That's an extra 400 talents that you can spend on either better shock cavalry or better Dalemite warriors or something like that, elite Dalemites maybe. Armenian Spears is a waste of money, and that's they proved themselves over there. 30 and 37 kills for them, not much. And the Persian nobles, unsurprisingly, did very poorly against cavalry. That's one of the few units that you can't use them against. You should go ahead and just charge them into the center, like into skirmisher lines or infantry lines, for them to really work. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more. Peace.